The Nerdmobile, episode 6, recorded on March the 2nd, 2020. Hello there, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdmobile. Okay, let's try that again. All right, take two. There we go. I've had a clapper. Hello there, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to the Nerdmobile. Today is March the 2nd, 2020. This is episode 6, and I'm back. It's Monday. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I have actually been recording an episode for like 45 minutes. And by recording, I mean I've been ranting to myself for quite a while. Right here on the freeway while I'm driving over to work. And what happened is that I was running out of gas, and I said, I'm going to go and fill up my gas. And I was already like mic'd up and everything. And so like I paused my recording, and I took the mic off, and I went and I gave myself some gas and everything. And when I came back, I just put the mic back on again, but I did not turn on my phone to hit record again. I just assumed that I was recording, and I just started talking, and I went and I kept going and going and going and going. And I was saying something during a little rant. I think I was talking about something that I was going to look up, because I was like, okay, I'm totally stuck here in traffic. I think I can look at my phone for a second. And I look, and my recording is at like 6 seconds. And it's like, wait, did the whole thing just not record? And I was assuming, stupid phone, stupid machine wasn't working. But no, it wasn't that it like paused or like it stopped or crashed or anything. It was that I had paused my recording, and I never bothered to hit play again, to hit record again, because I went to get gas, and that's when I stopped it. So, yep, whoopsie. Well, a good thing for you guys, I am very, very long-winded, and I really don't mind repeating myself at all. So I'm going to try and retrace my steps. Or actually, now that I'm recording it again, it could very easily be that the podcast episode is a lot more focused. And, if any of my tangents ever take me to what I was talking about before, then I can, feel free to talk about it again. But let's see. Well, what did I talk about? I talked about the Fine Brothers for some reason. I don't know why. I talked about the Fine Brothers and how much I just don't like that cookie cutter, safe kind of content where everybody's very like-minded and everybody just kind of thinks the same, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a big group, because everybody thinks the same. You think that everybody would have like a diverse way of thinking or whatever, but everybody just kind of agrees on everything, so that's kind of boring. Obviously, I talk about that for like 30 minutes, but that's kind of what it boiled down to. A much more reasonable, cold-headed, after the recording stopped, and it's like, okay, take a deep breath. It ain't that serious, And then like the React channel and the Try Not To channel, whereas all of these like mundane verbs and words that get blown out into full-on YouTube channels. That's pretty much what the Fine Brothers are good at. Do another channel, just call it Sit. It's all about sitting. React, it's all about reacting. Try not to. People try not to do things. Whatever segment on the Fine Brothers channel that actually like picks up steam and becomes popular, they for some reason have to blow it out to its own channel. Like it's gonna last them their entire fucking life, They're gonna be there like 40 years later still doing Try Not To challenges. No. Chances are that's gonna last them a few years, and then there's gonna be some other popular trend, and they're gonna make a whole channel dedicated to that too, Like the people that do ASMR or like slime challenges and bullshit like that, I remember I also complained about like, how every single episode is the same stupid thing. Like how, the first iPhone is like old enough where like people can, go back and be like, whoa, all of these modern kids, they can be like, whoa, the first iPhone, where's the App Store? Like that kind of bullshit. When it's kids and they react to new old technology, it's like, well, back then things were like that, and now they're like this. That's just so crazy. And then the adults, they're like, well, back in the day things were like this, and now they're like that. That's so crazy. And then to be very challenging, to really push the envelope, they flip it around, right? They have old people reacting to new technology or whatever. They also react to new technology as well, too, right? And so they're like, well, back in my day things were like this, and now they're like that. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's just a lot of the same shit. Reacting to old thing, reacting to new thing, And then movie trailer, movie trailer, movie trailer, movie trailer, movie trailer, music video, music video, music video, music video, music video, and then old thing again, and then new thing again. Yeah, these guys really run out of ideas. Fuck. They take literally anything that moves and they make people react to it. Yeah. But that's something that I talked about. And then I started talking about the old people and React, and then for some reason I started talking about the Giant Bombcast and how much I didn't really like it anymore. Or like a Giant Bomb in general, because I always felt like the older team, you know, like Jeff Gerstmann, Ryan Davis, God rest his soul, Dan Reichert, Drew Scanlon, Vinny Caravella, all of those people in one place interacting with each other. That was fun. I liked that little group. I thought that was really cool. You know, when the Bombcast was just 4 people, when it was Jeff, Brad, Dan, and Drew, when it was those 4 people, I loved it. It was awesome. But then they brought all these other people that, again, I don't want to, like, generation blame or, like, you know, name call and that kind of stuff, but I really can't come up with a better way to say it. You know, these fucking, like, I don't know, very millennial-ass, very SJW type kind of people. You know, again, very San Francisco. You can tell that they live in San Francisco and that their base of operations is in San Francisco just from the people that they have on there, right? You know, just the mentality of it. And again, you know, video game journalists are getting a very, very bad rap now. You know, when you say game journalist, that like 100% of the time is going to have a really, really bad connotation. You know, that comes with a lot of stigma. You know, that comes with a lot of bad assumptions about someone. And I got to say, they're very well deserved. Most of the time, they're very well warranted because a lot of these people are like so fucking disconnected. They're living in their own little world. And, you know, everybody, not just game journalists, but there's so many people out there that want to sell you things, that want to look good in front of you, that like virtue signal and do all of these like politically charged things, you know. Like all of these brands, you know, that want to do like positivity and good vibes and diversity and be all inclusive and whatever. And it's not because they care about you. They don't give a shit about you. If fucking, you know, killing babies was the trendy and hip thing to do, then you would see fucking Gillette being like, oh, you can slit your baby's throat with our sharp razors and you can shave yourself as well. You know, like, they would do that, you know, if it's popular, because all they want to do is sell. They don't care about you. They care about your fucking wallet. That's what they care about. And so, like, right now, you have social media ablaze with politics and everybody trying to be like the moral police and making sure that everybody is squeaky clean and sanitized and diverse and all inclusive and doing better. That's like everybody's favorite phrase right now. Do better. Whatever the fuck that means. There's only 2 words, but that can mean anything. But like everybody loves spitting that out, you know, just do better and then just do the thing, but do it good. Which usually it doesn't mean better. It just means do it the way that I do it, because the way that I do it is best, you know? It's very self-centered. Yeah, that's why whenever there's like, you know, these commercials that are like in black and white, or like, you know, like a war, you know, somebody suffering through war and getting discriminated and crying and all that stuff, but then the advertisement is like, try out our triple bacon burger at Wendy's. It's like, no, they ain't got nothing to fucking do with your product. Stop selling me bullshit based on like other shit that has nothing to do with you. You're just bandwagoning. You're just jumping on this fucking thing of like, yes, we are good people. You're safe. Yeah, safety. That's another one. You're safe with us. When like, yeah, okay, sure, I'm gonna feel safe eating your fucking greasy ass burger that's gonna cut my lifeline, my fucking lifetime by a year. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure Carl's Jr. has, and McDonald's has all of my best interests in mind. I'm sure. You know. If they really cared about having you safe and healthy and happy, they wouldn't sell you burgers. They sell you salads and nothing else. But yeah, that was just one of the many things that I ranted about. You know, how like not genuine a lot of these people are in social media and all these brands that use positivity in good things that sound really good on the surface, right? Like equality and diversity and all that stuff. But like people that genuinely believe that don't have to like shout it out from the heavens and yell at that to other people on social media like they're some fucking anime character making a speech to the big villain, you know? People that genuinely want to make this world a better place, they do it because they want to, out of the kindness of their own heart, you know? And they don't expect anything in return, you know? All of those people that really, really are good, that really are all-inclusive, that really are, like, all for diversity and equality and all that bullshit, they just treat people well, you know? they just accept people as they are, you know? They don't try to like shout at other people and be like, you have to be like this or else I'm gonna cancel you. Like, no. Those are people that just want brownie points, you know? Those are people that just want to look good in front of others. They want to feel themselves. They're like, they have these delusions that they're like from the fucking Justice League, you know? They think they're the Avengers every single time they fucking yell at somebody to like, do better, you know? That kind of bullshit. And, you know, in my years of being on the internet and being on social media and doing YouTube and stuff, I have never seen anybody yell at someone else and be like, yes, you're right, I am good guy now. No, usually people dig their heels even deeper and they say even stupider shit. You know, like they might even make it worse. Only if they're a celebrity where they like, you know, have to type in like a long apology that's probably not even written by them. It's probably written by like their agent or their marketing guy or like whatever, you know? Yeah, and even then, like are people really gonna change? Like, are they truly gonna change? You know, like that's something that I really wonder. Do all the people that apologize really truly change, or do they just like, you know, whisper all of the bullshit that got people pissed off in the first place, right? Do they just say it quieter? Are they just more careful about not getting caught? You know? Are they just not vocal about it on social media? I sincerely doubt that people actually change. They just don't tweet it out, you know? That's one of my favorite phrases that my dad said not too long ago. Because we were talking about the Mexican president. And we don't really talk about politics in our family, but like this one day in particular, again, you know, the world is just so fucking shit now. If not socially, then politically, you know. And I don't like talking about politics either, but I just love this phrase that my dad said. Because our Mexican president is a fucking idiot. And he does these things where like, he talks every morning. He does like an address, you know, almost like a press conference. Every day, every single day he talks to people and gives like a report on what's happening and what he's gonna do and all that stuff. He's very much like a man of the public kind of thing, in air quotes. You know, he doesn't like walking around with bodyguards. You know, when he travels on a normal car or in a taxi or whatever. He doesn't like to do any of that shit. And on the surface it sounds nice, but the guy makes some awful decisions. And so, and he's fucking over a lot of people. And so, because of those like daily like addresses to the people that he makes, my dad said that if you're the kind of guy that feels the need to talk to people on a daily basis, you're bound to say something stupid. Or like, you know, if you feel like you have to talk to the public every day, that means that you don't have anything to fucking say, you know? The things that you say in value like become lower and lower and lower every time because, you know, you're giving it away like it's fucking Halloween candy. And like you're not actually taking the time to actually think about it, you know? And that's not what my dad said. He just said, if you have to talk to the public every day, you're bound to say some stupid shit. That's all he said. That's the quote. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And that's why there's so many YouTubers that have a lot of controversy. That's why there's so many of them that get in trouble because they all make daily content and they all feel like they have to have an opinion on everything the moment they see it, the moment they react to it. When in reality, all of the more successful YouTubers, all of the ones that don't get in trouble, are the people that just don't tweet out every single fucking stupid thought that crosses their mind, right? The best, most valuable things are the ones where, like, you take a pen, you take a paper, and you write that shit down, you know? Or you type it up on your computer, you type it up on your typewriter. Ding! You think about it, you let it ruminate, you let those thoughts sit with you, you chew on it, and then you write it down so that you don't forget, you know? You write it down, you expand on it, you leave it alone, you take a break, you know, that's one draft, you come back, and you read it up, you read it again, and you make sure, okay, this sounds good or this doesn't sound good, you rewrite it, you correct it, or just scrap it. Or you can go and get a second opinion from someone, from a friend or a family member, get a third opinion, or hell, dare I say, a fourth opinion. You know, have your thing be peer reviewed, keep writing it up, keep thinking about it, you know, like really let your thoughts be super clear, you know, correct any mistakes, get rid of any unnecessary wording, research, you know, Google is your best friend at that point. And then when you have a good full thought, you know, already constructed, whether it's in a day or in a week or a month or years. If you're making like a Hollywood movie or a short film or something, it might take you years to do. And so when that's done, you either publish it on a blog or make a video on it or do your long tweet thread or something. And that's when That's when all the good shit comes out. When you actually give yourself the time to nurture that thought. As opposed to just like, what? Thing bad? I will yell about thing being bad without me actually knowing anything, you know? H3 podcast style. Yeah, again, like very, very like a lot of these podcasts that people kind of love at the beginning and then kind of hate because of that, you know? Very like gut reaction sort of opinion. That's why everybody loved Ethan Klein from H3H3 when, you know, when he did his regular videos on his main channel, because you actually took the time to record it, to edit it, to cut anything bad out, you know, to get a second opinion from your wife, you know, stuff like that. It was very controlled, very edited. But when it's a podcast and it's live and you can't cut any of your stupid bullshit out, you don't really give yourself the time to Google anything, then there we go. That's when you're fucked, you know? And that's why I think, yeah, in the long run, the most successful channels are going to be those that like make controlled and edited videos as opposed to daily content. Daily content is like potato chip content. It's fast and easy and it fills you up at the moment, but it doesn't fill your heart. It's just, you know, it just creates a bad habit as opposed to like an actual spectacle that'll be remembered far more than like, you know, the video that you put out on a random Tuesday. 2 weeks from now, you're not going to remember that Tuesday video, you know? Especially if, you know, if you're really forcing yourself to put stuff out daily or like multiple times a day. Fuck. You see, that's why I don't really like to make daily uploads anymore, because like I only have so much to say about so much stuff, right? And even these podcast episodes, I only record them maybe like once or twice a week, you know? Only when I know that I'm gonna have like an hour plus of traffic, that's when I record. And even then, you know, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it, you know? Sometimes I just like to put on my music on my iPod and just, you know, sing a lot, you know? Sing all of my Beatles songs and sing all of my fucking weeb-ass fucking Vocaloid songs, you know? Oh, by the way, before I forget, big shout-outs to my brother, Senior Pac-Man. If you guys don't follow him, he is Senior Pac-Man on Twitter. He's Senior Pac-Man on YouTube. He hasn't uploaded a YouTube video in like 5 years, but fuck, man, he has way more subscribers than I do. I'm here celebrating like 5,000. I just hit 5,000 recently. And my brother, he doesn't even have to fucking try. You know, he can make like a shitty little fucking cartoon with like little PNG images and not even drawings. And, you know, he'll get like 100,000 subscribers or whatever. Which, you know, I'm proud of him. I love that. That means he's super talented. That's a really good thing. But, I guess he saw my podcast, and he saw that I didn't, that I couldn't really come up with any cover art. And so, like, the cover art is essentially like a picture of me playing on my 3DS while driving. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the cover art for now, that and some text. And so what my brother did is he sent me some pictures on WhatsApp, which is like some pictures, just like some little rough sketches of like a little cartoon version of me on a car, and it says, oh, the Nerdmobile, and then episode number, and you know, it's all like blank and stuff for me to like insert the text on it later. And it's like, wow, like he's actually like, I didn't even ask him to do it, you know, I didn't tell him to do it at all. And so he just like on his own, he started, you know, drawing out like iTunes cover art for the podcast. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And so he gave me like 2 or 3, and he said, okay, decide, which one do you like the most? And I'm like, okay, this one. And he's like, okay, I'll actually finish it and have like color and stuff on it, and then I'll send it to you so you can use it. And I'm like, thank you so much. I never, like, I was actually thinking of like asking somebody, not him, but like somebody to make me like, you know, do some cool art or something. One of the big reasons for why I want to learn how to do GIMP and Inkscape, those two software, particularly Inkscape, because Inkscape is vector graphics that like scale big and small really nicely, you know, for t-shirt designs and logos. And so I was thinking, okay, when I learn Inkscape and I learn how to make something decent, then I'll have the podcast art be something that I make through Inkscape, right? I can just, you know, show that off. But of course that obviously takes time, and I just, you know, my mind is kind of like on, it runs on a video editor, right? And not necessarily on like Photoshop. And my brother just one day, yesterday, like on Sunday, he just messaged me. He said, hey, I made this for you. And it was like, oh, that is so cool. So yeah, man, thank you to him, and you know, shout outs. If you guys, obviously he's way more popular than I am, you know. obviously, I think I benefit more from him shouting me out than me to him. But yeah, he's Senior Pac-Man on Twitter and YouTube. Go give him a follow, go give him a sub, and I think maybe at some point in the future, he's actually thinking of doing commissions. So if you guys want to have like a cool drawing done by him, then maybe he can help you out. Maybe he can hook you up. But you see what I mean? You know, that's what good people are made of. People to just do it out of their own accord. People to do this shit because they want to, and you know, you don't see him being like, oh, because I am such a nice guy, you know, I'm gonna make this art for my brother for his new podcast, his all-inclusive podcast. You know, just I don't know. I just think that all of the people that are truly, genuinely good, that make a good difference in life, they don't announce it. And they don't shout it out to the fucking sky to be rewarded, you know? They just do it because they want to. They do it privately, or they just do it because it fills their heart and not to get constant validation from people, you know? And whatever, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with you know, saying stuff like that on Twitter. The problem always is that there's always fighting that comes with it, right? There's always, like, trying to force other people to be like you. There's always trying to, like, you know, make other people feel bad for not following on the same path as you do. And that's where the conflict shows up, you know? You can say whatever you want, just don't make a fight out of it, you know? Don't be a fucking dick when you say it. Like, if you are this, then you are this fucking shitty thing, and I don't want to associate with you. I'm like, why I gotta be drawing lines in the sand? I'm fucking Twitter of all places. That's why I don't really follow any of that. And I just follow, like, hot anime girls with big boobs on Twitter. Just constant pictures of that all the time. I said, if I'm going to engage in social media, if I'm going to rot my brain with social media, at least do it on something that makes me happy, which is just boobs and butts and thighs and everywhere, you know, hot anime girls with cool looking hair, you know, which is generally really good art, you know. I'm not talking just porn, you know, I'm not talking just hentai. There's legitimately some, like, super duper well-made art out there. That's not even hentai. It's like some good video game art, some good fan art, and then anime girls, and like, you know, that's how I know that, you know, what popular anime is popular right now, because I see a lot of people making fan art of it. Last time I checked, Azure Lane still reigns supreme in the fan art department. A lot more than Toho. Usually Toho is like ever present. It's like a god that is always there, just omnipresent. But Azure Lane is kind of taking the reins now, which is good. I'm happy about that. Every day I see Atago and Sirius and Laffy and Unicorn fan art, and that always warms up my soul and gives me a big boner too. Yeah. Well, anyway, I feel like this episode was really short because I'm about to arrive home. Not home. I'm about to arrive in someone else's home, because there's an office inside that home, and that's where I work. Yeah, I'm about to arrive over to work. Obviously, because my recording, I did not press the fucking record button when I started ranting to myself, so a lot of it is lost, but in essence, that's a lot of what I talked about. Actually, I'm going to check for how long I've been going. Oh, 23 minutes. Oh my God, that's nothing. All right, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the recording here, and I'm going to make a separate recording where I am driving back at night. Because, as always, I have more stuff that I want to talk about, more stuff that I want to say. And, of course, because I lost that recording, then, yeah, I kind of got left, you know, wanting more. I don't want this to be like a 23-minute episode, okay? So, episode 5, this is part 1. Part 2 is about to begin after this cut. Okay, it is 9:20 p.m., son of a bitch. I am supposed to leave work at 6:30 p.m. But we just had a lot of work to do. We were busy, a little busier than usual, and my boss just wasn't feeling it today. He wasn't feeling the energy. He just needed something to inspire him, which is usually in the form of weed, and so I guess he lost the notion of time. And he just went over to the other room to get like a good old puff of it so that he can get inspired and come up with ideas for some stuff. And yeah, we wrote several newsletters. Well, actually, no. It was one, and then like many different translations for different languages for that one, and then another new one that we came up with today. and then messages and like copy, just a lot of making copy, a lot of just waiting on things and then sharing them out. Yeah, it's just a lot of things sort of coming together and then executing on them and sharing them and just doing that kind of guerrilla marketing type of outreach where it's just like, just put stuff out on the internet, post links, go to message boards or subreddits and stuff like that, and try not to come off as fake or whatever, because I don't know a place that is more like strict and suffocating than Reddit, because every single subreddit, no matter how small or how big, they all have like the most like, you're in school and the principal is telling you not to do this and that kind of rules, you know? It completely takes the fun out of being on the internet, you know? And it's like, don't you dare self-promote, don't you dare post memes here, don't do this and do that, because any little thing that you do that can be interpreted as like against the rules is like, you know, it's totally like a bannable offense. Like, there's so many cutthroat moderators and rule makers on Reddit, and I just know because, you know, hey, we want to like, you know, show this thing off, and it's not even like a money thing, or, you know, we have our Kickstarter right on Gametree, but like it's about to end, and, you know, sometimes we don't want to just shill our stuff. Sometimes it's like, hey, we have an interesting article with all this data, or, you know, we made a personality test, and, you know, these are my results, you know, what are yours? You know, let's just create a conversation out of this. And obviously we get a little bit of exposure out of it, but, you know, it's nothing evil, you know? We're not there twirling our mustaches going, yeah, we'll take over the world by going on some random subreddit and posting links to our shit. Nah. There's only one reasonable, cheeky little link saying like, hey, you know, here's this cool thing that you guys may be able to relate to. Let's engage, you know? But anybody can be like, oh, you're trying to, your big evil plan is like, nah, it's not a big evil plan. I'm literally just doing my job, and I'm going to get in trouble if I don't do this. So here I go, you know, just trying to be respectful, because in Reddit, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be God himself, and people on Reddit will still fucking take you apart. Everybody thinks they're like fucking Sherlock Holmes on Reddit. They all think they can just fucking do anything. I don't know why people like Reddit so much. I guess it's like a hub for information or whatever. And I guess if you join subreddits and if you're involved with the people there, then I guess you'll enjoy it. But I personally never saw the appeal. I do the same thing that I do for every single fucking social media platform. I just go and find the places where you can find the anime boobs, all right? You know, where's r/hentai, you know? Where's r/titty dropper or something like that? Yeah, I'm always looking for stuff like that, because if it's not hot anime girls, it's just a bunch of drama and stupidity and ignorance, or like people getting political, or, you know, in the most unexpected of places, you'll find drama brewing, you know? There's even like chess, like motherfucking chess, there's drama there. Because I remember, because we were doing this whole Kickstarter thing, right? And so I was researching, okay, what are some cool projects that we can outreach so that we can cross-promote and do collaborations and stuff. We have a newsletter that's going to come out pretty soon that's highlighting a bunch of cool projects. I'm going to sneeze. All right, excuse me. Yeah, I was researching, you know, cool board games or cool video games that, you know, we could have. Is like, all right, you know, we have our app that is all about, you know, people finding friends and finding games and getting recommended friends and games. And so if you have like a cool multiplayer game that you can play online with other people, or if you can, you know, do you know, in real life. I hesitated a little bit to speak, like my brain farted, because there was a cop car that passed literally right next to me, and at that moment that I saw him, I'm like, am I speeding? Just like, officer, no, I'm not recording a podcast in the car while driving. No, that'd be really stupid. I mean, that would be very distracting, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to, you know, put anybody's life in danger or anything. No. But anyway, moving on with the podcast. This is part 2 of the podcast. I was hoping to record this a lot earlier, you know, at around 6:30 when I get off from work, but for some fucking reason, I'm here driving barely on my way back at like 9:30 at motherfucking night, which does kind of piss me off a little bit. But on the other hand, we got a lot of work done. And in all fairness, I do work in an office in my boss's house, and so we have his kitchen and everything, and so he made me food not once but twice. For lunch in the middle of the day, he had like eggs and sausages and stuff. Like he had a fairly decent meal and stuff. It wasn't that bad. And then right now, not too long ago, he made me some chicken soup, and on top of that, some steak. So the both of us had chicken soup and steak, which is a very weird combo. But my God, my boss was hyping up the chicken soup, saying like, "Oh, be careful, it's tasty." And I'm there like, what, bitch, what do you mean tasty? This fucking steak is delicious. I mean, whatever, the soup was good, you know? It was good, it was tasty as he said, but my God, man, I didn't see him make the steak or nothing, but when he brought it out, fuck, it was really good. It was really good, it was worth staying for. A hell of a lot better than me just eating the the remains of the microwavable lasagna that I made yesterday. So yeah, I guess, you know, if free food comes with it, then I guess it's worth it to stay a little bit. But it does kind of piss me off a little bit because, you know, he knows that I have my own personal projects. I have my own channel and, you know, I want to make my own content and stuff. And so those last little couple of hours that I have coming back, that's literally all the time that I have before I have to go to bed and wake up at 6 in the morning with a full 8 hours of sleep, you know? And so, at this rate, by the time I arrive home, it's already going to be 10 p.m. It's going to be bedtime. And so, if I'm going to be really stubborn about it, which I know I will, I'm going to be like, no, fuck it. I'm going to edit a Senran Kagura video right now, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. You know? I just bought a brand new computer monitor that's all nice and curved, and I remodeled my room so that there's more space, you know, so that nothing is all crowded and stuff. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to play a game, or I also rearranged my room so that my big television is right in front of my bed so that I can lay down and play Switch games. So it's no, you can't take that away from me. I'm just about to beat Diablo 3. I'm at the Reaper of Souls story. And I'm almost there. I'm almost right at the end. Come on, really? You're gonna take away my time? But he did this once, which I guess is okay. I guess. What was that? Oh yeah, I was talking about how I was researching some stuff for the Kickstarter, and so I saw this one chess table that was called the Neo Swap or something, and so it would move on its own. You would make a move, and then it would, automatically, the opponent would start making moves for you. And so, I don't know if it was, an AI that you could play against, but there was also the function, the feature that you had where you could play online with other people from all over the world. And so you would make a move on the chess table, and then the other person would make a move as well, on the other side of the world with their little Neo Swap table. And you would see the chess pieces move on their own, like it's magic, like you're playing Harry Potter or something like that. And so I thought that was awesome, and so I contacted them or whatever. But then there was this other one that was very similar. It was almost like the exact same thing, except that this Neo Swap one was a lot better because it was like a checkerboard table, but it wasn't just for chess. It was for doing, what do you call this, like checkers and backgammon or whatever. Any kind of tabletop, simple board game like that you can think of. They could, you could do it like that, And there was a special app that you can download that had all those games installed or whatever. That kind of thing. It was a lot better. But then there was another one that I forget the name of it, but it was it was very similar, but not as elaborate, It was the same chess idea, but it was only chess, and it was no other game. And the chess table was really thin, as opposed to the other one that actually works, that was bigger and noisier and stuff, but it worked, And so this one apparently was a really big scam. And so I discovered this other chess project because I was going through Reddit, and it was r/drama or some shit. Yeah, fuck me, right? I'd never go into a place like that. But I was researching, I was hustling. And so I saw r/drama, and I saw, chess table scam on Kickstarter. And you have people in the comments being like, oh, look, we're like ravaging them. We're ravaging their comment section with, like, calling them out and bullshit like that. And so this was like 6 days ago. And then I go into the Kickstarter page and I'm like, oh, please, God, don't let it be the one that I contacted, right? Don't let it be the one that I emailed. And it wasn't. It was like a different one. And then it said, a Kickstarter funding suspended like 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I arrived like just at the moment that Kickstarter took action. And that was today, And the subreddit thread that I saw was like 6 days ago. And of course, leave it to a place called r/drama to have like the most fucking angry, cynical fucking takes ever, Yeah, because one thing could be shitting on that scam, right? It's like, all right, cool, fuck them, right? But then there were others that kind of blew it out of proportion. They were like, who would ever give money to like Kickstarter projects, just like in general? Like, are people really that stupid that they give money to Kickstarter, It's like, okay, I don't know what the problem is with that. There's a lot of like really genuine and awesome projects that exist out there. And usually when you pledge to these projects a certain amount of money, you end up paying a lot less for the product as if you would if you bought it like finished and completed on the store, For example, there's this RPG text adventure game that I discovered via my research on Kickstarter, and it's called Sryth, like Sryth. And apparently it's like the 7+ year project made by one guy. We're Toby Fox in this shit. It's like one singular dude that made this really like elaborate text adventure where you had your character sheet and your stats and your spells and all that stuff. It really made me want to like actually play that as a video game. But no, it's only text, so you gotta let your imagination run wild. There is a map and stuff. You can play it for free, and that's the most amazing part. Because apparently this dude, what he does is that every single year he makes a Kickstarter so that he can keep funding the project. And I think for like the 5th or 6th time, he has consistently been able to get funded so that he can continue making this text adventure, because apparently there's like a whole wiki for his game, and there's like a whole fan base for his game as well. And I had no idea. I don't really get into text adventures, but maybe after AI Dungeon, maybe this time I will. And so I checked it out and I made my little character, Artyom, based on the character from Metro Last Light. I think that's a really cool, awesome name. And so I said, oh, come up with a fantasy name. And so I didn't want it to just be like the hat person or like just my real name or anything. So I said, oh, I'll name myself Artyom. Yeah, sounds like a very like Viking warrior kind of thing. But I ended up doing the same thing that I do for every single fantasy game, like Skyrim or anything like that. I always go for the sneaky thief or like a rogue kind of stuff that, fights with bow and arrow, daggers, and a little bit of magic, A little bit of well-versed, but mostly sneaking up on people with a bow and arrow, That's kind of what I like to do. And of course, because I'm not the strongest man in the town, I like to have dialogue options where I can talk my way out of problems and shit like that. And so I went through like the first maybe 5 screens, the 5 little, dialogue boxes of Sryth. And obviously it has like a million links, like the thing is that it has all of the terminology, right, of all the different worlds and regions and stuff. Like, oh, Glimmerhell is right across the corner of Flamberville, and the Knights of Thrall come in and take away Persephicus, the ancient wizard of Shilbalalala. So I was like, fuck, what the fuck does any of this mean, right? And so fortunately, all of those words have hyperlinks on them, and so you click on them and a little pop-up window shows up that says, oh, the magic wizard of Flalalala is this guy from that guy, and he comes from this place, and this place is well known for its economic growth in selling coal and other spices, stuff like that. So you can click on all those names and they give you context, which is fine. And obviously as a first-time player who only played like the first 3 paragraphs of it, then obviously I'm not going to understand shit, but I can definitely see myself maybe streaming it at some point and just playing it, and maybe like I'll be 10 hours in and I'll know all the terminology. I have no idea. But I just kind of like the idea of supporting a one-man band that does this like super like wow, you know, big text adventure. And the entire reason for why he did the Kickstarter this year is like, you know, Strife 2020, the big expansion of Mahor Frost or whatever the fuck. And so I'm like, whoa, you know, I had never played the game before, but I was reading it. I was reading his Kickstarter campaign text, and it was like, oh yeah, you know, I've been working on this expansion for a long time, but I need the funding for it, you know? It's like, oh yes, the fans want to see Frost or whatever. So, the last time I checked it, he got funded. He got like $30,000 or whatever. And he's like, yeah, Hothfrost is coming, guys. And I can already see people coming in their pants being like, yeah, Hothfrost, oh, you know? When in reality, it's like a whole book, right? It's just like a bunch of fucking text. I'm sure that for a hardcore fan, they're gonna be like, oh my fucking God, that's like a whole new world, right? Fuck the, like the Elder Scrolls Online expansions, right? What about Elsewhere or like, you know, the not Hammerrock, what the fuck is this place? Hammerfall and, God, what is the name of the fucking third game? Elder Scrolls 1 Arena, and then Elder Scrolls 2 something. Before Oblivion. Oh my God, I forgot the name. Morrowind. There we go. Morrowind. Yeah. Forget Morrowind, man. Hothen Froskenville is the place to go on Strife. Created by one man. I mean, I can kind of believe it if it's a text adventure. All you have to do is just take the time to type all that shit out and make sure you don't fucking lose track of the millions and billions of like different things that you have, right? I mean, maybe that's why you have a whole wiki. Maybe the guy himself forgets, wait, who is the evil wizard of Glickendel? And then you go to your own wiki and you're like, yes, Glickendel. Yeah, the place where the schmully balls go. Yes. The giant schlub beast. That's where they tame them. Yes, okay, cool. And then he can, you know, stay on topic and like not, you know, not lose track of his own story. Yeah. And I should probably take notes of that because I am writing the story to this RPG game that I want to make someday. That is not coming out anytime soon, so don't ask me about it. I want to have like a cool story for it, you know? Even if it is a love letter to like shonen anime and manga and stuff. So there are like a bunch of like, you know, how do you call it? Intentional, hold on. I'm turning around. Is that a UFO over there? Holy shit! No. It's, what is that? That's not an airplane. It's like floating still in the sky. It has like a green light on the left and then like two flashing lights. Is that a UFO? Is that a helicopter? Oh yeah, that might actually be a helicopter, but it looks badass. It looks big. It looks like those ships from like Star Wars episode. Oh no. It's a fucking airplane. I'm an idiot. You're like, oh my God, Betty, get the camera. Oh my God, look at that shit. There's a blinking and shit, like that movie we saw. Remember that movie? Yeah. War of the Lands or some shit. Tom Cruise was in it. I don't know. I slept like halfway through that movie, but holy shit, that's an alien. I told you they were real, man. It wasn't just me getting high, you know. I couldn't see it. It's fucking 9:30 at night. I'm fucking tired and pissed as fuck because I'm 3 hours overtime at work and I'm here fucking seeing aliens. Anyway, it wasn't a hot air balloon. It wasn't a blimp. It wasn't even a chopper. I was gonna say, it was like one of those fucking badass military helicopters, like the ones from like Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, everybody's favorite Star Wars movie, where they fly out of the arena. Oh no, they fly into the Coliseum. So like a billion CGI people with lightsabers fight another bunch of CGI robots, yeah. And then Jango Fett's head gets cut off on screen by Samuel L. Jackson with his lightsaber that says badass motherfucker on the side. And Boba Fett had to see it. Yeah. What was I talking about? I have no idea what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah, Strife. Yeah. I've only played a little bit of it, but I have my character, and I have my my little dude there, Artyom, with all of his stats and all of his abilities. So maybe I might not be consistent in playing it every day, but dude, that game is fresh in my mind. I really, really want to like keep going with it. And I want to see what other people see in it, you know? It's a text adventure, but I guess it has a pretty strong following if it was able to, like, fund, a one-man team can fund $30,000 for another year, for, like, the 6th or 7th year of his game to continue living, so, yeah. But yeah, I was looking up Kickstarter projects like that, and then I found, like, some other very, like, wholesome Kickstarter projects. For example, there's this Japanese guy called Matsuo Yamamoto or something, and he made like a little board game called Chos, like Chosu. And so you can see him playing the board game with his wife, and the wife clearly doesn't know Japanese, and the dude is like with his phone camera recording the entire game in super duper broken English, you know? Hate to sound stereotypical, but like that's exactly how it sounded like. It was like, all right, so today, you know, you have to do a 1 point. Yes, I get 2 shapes, 3 point, you know? That kind of like very, yeah, it kind of has that, how do you call it? That drawl of like, you know, I'm trying to talk English, you know? Kind of like that. Just imagine Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid. He spoke almost exactly like that, but a little younger Mr. Miyagi. But I liked it. It was like genuinely like it looked like a really fun game. It was very simple. So the entire idea of Chos is that it's a Japanese game, but there's no text or nothing. The whole idea of it is that you can play the whole game without sight. Like, you don't have to see anything, just with touch and feel. You can determine what items you have. So like you get to grab 4 little circles, like 4 little thingies. And so I guess tokens. Let's call them tokens. They're like circular. They have little shapes on them, and you can touch them and feel them, and it has like little things protruding out of them, so you can feel which one is 1, and which one is 2, which one is 3, square shape, circle shape, star shape, that kind of stuff, right? And so that's the whole thing. So like if you're blind or whatever, you can just feel it and then be like, okay, I have 2 of the same one, and that's 1 point. Or I have 2 that are like different amounts, but they're the same shape, you know, the same shapes match, so that's 1 point. But I have, you know, there is the same amount and the same shape, so that's 5 points, and that kind of stuff. And so you just keep taking turns, and you keep matching one with the other, and by the end of it, you just count who has the biggest amount of points, and that's who wins, you know? It's so simple. It's like a 5-minute game, but it looked really fun. I loved the design of the little Chos pieces. It was cool. It was nice and circular. They almost looked like they were made of like porcelain, you know? It was very nice and pristine, you know? And then when you have like I just thought it was like a really wholesome project. And so within that range, because it was very small, you know, this wasn't a project that was getting like $100,000 or anything. The guy only needed like 100,000 yen, which isn't a lot, you know? And so the dude ended up making like, you know, just a little bit more than that. You know, he just barely funded it. But then there was another guy that kind of made me cry a little bit. He got me a little teary-eyed. He's a streamer who is also a game developer. I forget his name, but he made a project called To Live. And so I saw the cover art, and I saw the title and stuff, and it was all in lowercase. So I thought, oh God, this is another like, you know, low effort, shitty Kickstarter. It's probably made it by some random Indian guy. He probably doesn't even speak English correctly, and like, you know, this is gonna suck. But then I saw the description, and like the little blurb that kind of teases it was very well written. It's a game about like appreciating the people that you lose in life and all that stuff. It felt like really heartfelt, you know. I'm like, oh geez, like, okay, so maybe I'm just judging it on the surface when maybe it's not all that, right? So like I click on it, and it's this video. It's like a 4-minute video of this horrendously sad person who like apparently like he lost a friend of his to like violence, to like gang violence or whatever. There was a friend that like wasn't able to reach for her dream, like another friend of hers that also died, and like the dude has a wife, and she was pregnant with a baby, and they lost the baby, and like fuck, you know, like the dude went through a lot. And you see it in his face, like he's just recording on his webcam, and he's like, hey guys, today I just really wanted to share something with you. And like it was so serious, and I'm like, fuck. Usually these Kickstarter videos are like, hey bros, you know, like, it's your boy, we're here to have some fun and play some games, and if you kickstart, yeah, we can have a water balloon fight together, whoa bro, you know. They try to be all funny with it. But this guy was like dead serious, saying like, I lost my baby and I lost 2 of my friends plus a bunch of other fucked up shit. And the only way that I know how to cope with it is by doing what I do best, and that's game design. I wanted to express my feelings through, my medium, through my art and stuff. And so what he did is that he designed a game called To Live. And so it was like a little box. It's a small box, it's a deck of cards, and they all say the same thing on them. They all have like different little cloud patterns, and they all say To Live on them. And I think there's like 52 cards? Yeah, 52 card deck. And out of all of those 52 cards, there's only one singular card that is completely blank. And so how the game works is that you keep breaking out a card without looking, and then you see if it says To Live or not. And so when you get the confirmation that it says To Live, you have to like reminisce on a person that you love a lot, or somebody that you lost, or like a precious memory, or just something that you really appreciate, or like a goal that you have in life. Just anything that makes you happy, anything that makes you like appreciate life, you know? Anything that inspires you to live. And so you keep going. You just keep doing that. You just keep doing that chain of appreciation or reminiscing, and then eventually you're gonna get that blank card. You don't know where that blank card is because you keep shuffling that deck constantly. And so obviously that's supposed to be, that's where like this turns from like a silly card game to like a really powerful message. Because that card could literally be like the 3rd card that you break out, or it could be the very last one all the way at the bottom, you know? You never know. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know when like the next card that you pull, you know, the next day in life is gonna be another precious memory, or that's gonna be the one where you fucking die, right? It could be in the middle, it could be at the beginning, it could be the first card that you break out, you know? It could be right at the top, or it could be right at the bottom, or right in the middle, you never fucking know. And knowing my luck, it's probably gonna be like card number 2. But you know, it really hit me. You know, I saw the thumbnail for the project, and I said, oh, it's probably gonna be some shitty thing. It's not even, you know, capitalized correctly, motherfucker. Stupid fuck. But then I saw it, and I was genuinely really moved. Like, I legitimately loved the idea of that project. His feelings were very clear and genuine and honest and sincere. And like, I went to see, you know, like the news reports of the people that died that he's talking about, and that's some hard shit, man. Like, you really feel it. I felt super bad for this guy. So, you know, part of me is a little bit of pity, you know, where it's like, yeah, man, I want to donate to this guy's Kickstarter. But at the same time, I legitimately really like the idea of that game, especially for me, where like I get fucking depressed about everything so often, you know? There are many moments where, like, you know, and again, just to like keep you guys calm and so that you guys don't panic, I don't mean like suicidal, not that far, even though there was a time in my life where I did consider it at some point. But yeah, you know, there are moments where like I really ask, what the fuck is the point? You know, there are many moments where I become so negative that it's like hopeless, you know? And so I need that something to kind of inspire me, to motivate me, to kind of pick me up and give me that perspective of like, no, you know, things aren't that bad. Things are actually pretty good because I have this and I have this and I have that, and oh fuck, I drew a blank card, I died. Man, that was so fucking fast. For some people, you know, they don't even get to have like 5 memories. They only have the one and then they die, you know? Or like, you know, the people's lives get taken away so fucking earlier than they deserve, and it sucks, and it really makes you appreciate everything that you have, right? Like, I am one of those people that was able to last out longer, you know? Like Etika, I always think about Etika and how he committed suicide, and I'm like, dude, I was envisioning him being like a super duper big YouTuber in the future. The guy was like making bank and doing very well, and then he had like his mental health issues, and then he just committed suicide, and I'm like, I don't like to admit that I'm 25 years old and I am outliving this guy, you know? I am gonna live longer than him, you know? That's where his timeline ended, You know, that's it. That's where it went. You know, it stayed back there. And, you know, time will pass and people will forget and people will move on and he'll just stay behind, you know, and just, you know. People always say that when people die, it's like, oh, they passed on and they left us behind. But no, I think it's the opposite. We're the ones that keep moving forward while the dead people get left behind, because eventually, you know, you can miss them and feel sad for them for as long as you want. But time really does heal all wounds, even if you fucking want to or not, you know? Because eventually you start to forget. And I think you need games like To Live. You know, a deck of cards that can remind you of all the great things that you have so that you motherfucking appreciate them. Even if it is just, you know, taking out a card and saying the name of a Smash Brothers character and then being like, oh, Sakurai's dead. We overworked him to death by asking for too many fucking characters and making him, you know, fucking work on Smash to death. But yeah, I think it's a super duper touching, really awesome, really novel kind of idea. And so I really liked it. I haven't backed him yet. I still have some time. But after I get paid this month, I think I'm going to put some money on that, because I genuinely want him to send me a deck of cards. Because I am sure as fuck, at least, a couple times a week, I'm going to fucking use it. And I think and that's like a good, like a giftable thing to, to give to someone, right? That's a good, like mom gift, you know, like a good, like woman gift to give to someone. Because they'll be like, oh, it's so spiritual and bullshit like that. But, like, you know, people that discover the Kickstarter, man. Like, he made me tear up. Like, he legit made me tear up, you know? I really want to support, you know, something like that. And that Japanese guy with Chas. Yeah, I will love that, too. But anyway, there's no more noise now. I'm in my garage. I have stopped the car. I'm ready to go back home. And, yeah, I have 15 minutes before I have to go to bed. Oh, you know, what I can do is that I can just move the alarm back. You know, maybe I can wake up at like 7 instead of like 6. But that's still just 1 more hour, or 8. Hopefully this never happens again. Where, like, I have to fucking stay at work late, like 3 hours. Yeah, no, I don't care if he feeds me steak. I like to spend time at home. Thank you very much. But, anyway, this is another episode. I have like 3 podcast episodes that I have recorded already that I haven't edited down yet. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll actually play with my new computer monitor, which is something that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't even talk about it. So maybe in some other episode I'll talk about what I did this weekend, because, yeah, that's like a whole hour. That can be a whole episode. And, yeah, I'll enjoy myself. Yeah, I rearranged my whole room. I kind of wanted to go into a bit more detail about that, because I'm the most interesting man in the world, and I love to talk about boring fucking house remodeling. But yeah, amongst all of this rambling, I just fucking found myself back at home. So before I keep going, thank you very much, guys, for listening. I can already see, I can foresee in the future that a lot of these podcasts are going to have very abrupt endings, because it's like, well, I was in the middle of a rant, and here I am. I'm at home. So, yeah, I feel awkward just continuing to talk while sitting here in the car. So I think I'm just going to end it here and just go home and chill for as long as I can. I'm probably going to stay up late, which is probably going to be bad because I'm going to lose sleep. But I just hate the fact that that's a very miserable way to live life, to like go home and literally just sleep so you can fucking go back and work again and spend all day there. No, I don't want to dedicate my entire life to work. I have a life of my own. So yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. All right, yeah, be sure to follow me on social medias and all that stuff. I don't know if by the time you guys watch this episode, maybe the brand new artwork will already be done. I don't know. My brother's been showing me the progress on the drawing that he's been making, which has been fantastic. So, yeah. I know that I'm slapping this part 2 of episode 6 along with what I recorded in the morning. So, yeah, you know, I already said it previously, I guess. So, shout-outs to my brother, Senior Pac-Man. He's amazing. He's incredibly talented, too. Just you watch. He'll have some amazing animations. I've already seen a lot of them, and yeah, they're fucking fantastic. They involve a little devil kid and then another one with a little rabbit with an eye patch. It's amazing. So yeah, at Senior Pac-Man on Twitter, and then Senior Pac-Man on YouTube. Go watch all of his old videos and tell him, yes, you were really funny back then. Don't say that they suck. Vungers 2 was amazing. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, and of course, you can follow me as well while you're at it. You can help me catch up with my brother. That's Good Game, Have Fun everywhere. You can just go goodgameoffun.com, I guess, and from there you can see my YouTube and my articles and everything. Oh, actually, no, Patreon. Right now, I'm kind of trying to work out what I'm going to do in terms of, my website and all that stuff. I'm kind of looking at Streamlabs and whatever, so yeah, goodgameoffun.com, I mean, it's still there, but I'm not really updating it, so I think the best place for you to go right now is patreon.com/goodgamehavefun, because there, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Twitch, my YouTube, my everything is there, and that's the thing that I've been updating the most frequently right now. And so, yeah, so as I'm trying to decide what I want to have as like my main hub, whether it's goodgameoffun.com or Streamlabs, Good Game of Fun, or my Patreon, they're all Good Game of Fun. So just search me on that, whether it's on YouTube or, on any of those places or Patreon. Feel free, because it doesn't matter where you go. If you go to one place, I'm going to have the links to literally everything else, So, just Patreon, patreon.com/goodgameoffun, because if you're a backer, if you're a patron, if you give away like $5, if you do the $5 tier, which is the only tier that I have, you pretty much get everything. And so that includes Patreon exclusive content, which is essentially just the podcast episodes right now. Remember when I said that I had like 5 episodes already recorded? Well, pretty soon, probably by the end of this week, you'll be able to listen to pretty much all 5 or 6 episodes, right there on Patreon. You can have access to all of them, and you'll be like 6 episodes ahead from everyone else on YouTube that can only listen to it every Sunday, 1 episode at a time, once a week. So, yeah, that's a pretty good incentive, and on top of that, as I keep making more videos and stuff, it's very likely that I'll put them on Patreon early, like maybe a day or 2 early, and then I'll go on YouTube and just go from like unlisted to public, and then everybody can see it, I usually like to have YouTube videos be scheduled, and then, be able to show them off privately, but I can't. If it's scheduled, I can't actually share the link. So what I have to do is have the video be unlisted and then put it on Patreon, and then whenever I want to release it, I'll just put it on public. So, yeah. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Have a good one.